This is Live Mode, a Sims podcast. This podcast was recorded on Kaurna Land. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of Kaurna country and country throughout Australia. I recognise and respect their cultural heritage, beliefs and relationship with the land, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and upcoming. Thank you to the EA Creator Network for providing me with game codes, enabling me to conduct research and produce this podcast.
Ew! Mango stew.
Come on, Nana.
Woohoo!
Ew.
Mashuno!
Hey guys, it's Alex here. Woohoo tattoo. It's time to talk about fairies. So I've done a whole lot of research because I wasn't really sure how to put this podcast out today, but considering the next episode is going to probably be the whole review of Enchanted by Nature expansion pack because that is coming out on the 11th here in Australia, I thought I would do a little bit of a deep dive. So today we have got some SimNation University history. We're going to go into some news and then we've got some drama llama to go through as well because, of course, with every new release, there's always some drama llama. Can't wait. So grab your cup of coffee. If your cuppa, I've got an Earl Grey today. What's your favourite warm drink in this winter? It is freaking freezing here today. Like I did not want to get out of bed. I was like, nope, I've got my hoodie on. I had my heater on. It's turned off now because I didn't want it in the background. But get cozy because we're going to talk some fairies today. It's time to get magical. So let's head over to SimNation University. And today we're talking about the history of fairies in The Sims. So I know a lot of people have done this and I have used a lot of people for a little bit of research. And obviously Gons was probably the one that sort of inspired me to do this a little bit. But I sort of thought, there's no point talking about The Sims 4 fairies unless we kind of know where the fairies have been for the whole time. Let's get into it. Let's start at the beginning, The Sims 1. There was one fairy in The Sims 1 and they came right at the end. She is the fairy queen Mara and you'll find her as an NPC, so a non-player controlled character. And she is in Magic Town in the Calamity Forest. You can buy things off of her. You can challenge her to a magic duel. And you can also play for ingredients, but she's actually the fastest in the toadstool race because she has her fairy powers. She can actually teleport. So if you want to win, the best thing to do is to use other family members or use teleportation of your own. Now there's some ingredients that you can get from Mara. You can get the diamond dust, golden thread, pixie dust, sands of time, and the 4-leaf clover. And I really like this it kind of relates to this new expansion pack we're getting, and we'll get into that very shortly in the next segment. There was also some little fairies from the pink toy box for kids in The Sims 1. So if the kids play with this, they'll have some little fairies come out and they will sort of fly around and sometimes they will leave some fairy dust and the kids will need this as some ingredients for their own little magic spells. And I just thought that was really sweet. And personally, I didn't know that. I learned that. So I don't even know where I learned that. I think I just Googled fairy dust and it was an old thread from like 2011. So there you go, learning. So let's scooch over to Sims 2 now. And this was actually on launch. Everybody knows we had the 3 neighborhoods. We had Veronaville. And Veronaville is already known to be an adaptation of Shakespeare's plays. So while we have the Monties and the Caps and their dramas, there's actually another house that is occupied in Veronaville. And this is the Summer Dream family. We've got Titiana, Oberon, Puck, and Bottom. And their bio states, the Summer Dream's kindly nature and zest for life have cast a romantic spell over Veronaville's youth. But will there be any magic left for Puck? Wow. So this is obviously taken from Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare, and this was written in 1595 to 1596. and it's a romantic comedy about the complexity of love in a fairy tale setting. So if you want to actually go and watch this and, prepare yourself for some magic, go and check out the 1999 movie of the same name, Midsummer Night's Dream, with Michelle Pfeiffer and Stanley Tucci as Puck. I was recommended this movie probably about 2 years ago, and I'd never seen it. I am a little bit of a Shakespeare stan. Like, I do love the whole idea of, cheesy, corny love and poetry and sonnets and, as much as a man hater I put out to be, I do have a bit of hopeless romantic in me. But it is actually such a sweet movie, so go and watch it. And Stanley Tucci is he's just hilarious and great, and he's in his prime. It's so good. I think it's also got like Kevin Kline, and he's Bottom as well. It's just really good. It's really good. So in the play, Oberon and Titiana, they're the king of the fairies. There's a few couples that are going through some drama here, and they also struggle with their relationship. And because this is a comedy, they are actually able to resolve their disagreements because obviously in the end, true love conquers all. Then we've got Puck, and Puck is a mischievous fairy who is actually told to cast some spells, but casts the spell incorrectly and then causes drama in the wrong couple's life. And then we've got Bottom. So Bottom is actually called Nick Bottom, and he's an actor. He's doing like a play in the play. He's an actor in the play, but he's also an actor. Yeah, anyway. He's the comic relief. So he's a little bit silly, and Puck actually changes his head into a donkey. So the whole way through, he's actually got a donkey head. So yeah, just to set the scene there. But in The Sims 2, these four, they're not really a family in the play, but in here, they're sort of a family. So we've got Titiana and Oberon. Now, they're in a relationship. They're not married or engaged, but they do have the wants. They've also adopted Puck and Bottom. Now, Puck is a teen and Bottom is a child, a female child. They don't have any fairy powers or wings, but they do have some pointy ears and some face paint, which kind of alludes to the point that they're supposed to be fairies. So when you start this game, they're actually having a party, and Puck has the want to have first kiss with Hernia. Now, Hernia is a cap. So this is kind of a little bit cheeky because he's also friends with Mercutio, and obviously if you guys know anything about, the Montague Capulet drama, Mercutio will actually be upset if Puck kisses her in front of him. So just drama, just a little bit of drama we love. Go and check them out because I've never actually played them before. I played the Capulets and Montagues, the Caps and Monties. But yeah, it was really cute to actually open them up. It was cute. Then Sims 3 came the full occult, and this was in the Supernatural expansion pack, which was the 7th expansion pack. And personally, this kind of broke my game, but then again, the Sims 3 was broken, let's be real. But the thing that broke it was the lunar cycle for me, because the moon just kind of ruined the lighting in my game and made everything glow. So I didn't really play much, but I have recently visited this again, and I have been having a lot of fun. So check my Instagram and you'll see what kind of things I've been up to. This expansion pack, Supernatural, introduced so many occults. Fairies, witches, vampires, zombies, ghosts, and werewolves. So then we had the lunar cycle and alchemy. The world we had was Moonlight Falls, and it's very sort of dark, and like you've got the foresty vibes, and then there's harvestable mushrooms everywhere. It's really, really cute. And then there's like a gypsy caravan because there's a new career where you can be like a tarot reader or paranormal sort of mystic. We've got broomsticks. There's like the fairy house. There's some goth sort of style architecture and furnishings. There's Magic Mirror. And of course we have Queen Bonehilda made her return. So let's talk about fairies. Now, fairies can be created in Create a Sim, or you can actually turn regular Sims into fairies using the Bottled Blessing of the Fae elixir. So we also had alchemy in this one as well. There's an opportunity you can get at the Fairy Arboretum when you search for fairies. And I've been trying to do this, but it has not worked so far. So while my Sim is learning alchemy, I'm like sending her there and doing that at night and meeting fairies and stuff. And I'm friends with fairies and I cannot get her to change. So it's kind of a bit of a grind at the moment. Now, fairies in The Sims 3 live 5 times longer than normal Sims. They've got a magic meter, which you can replenish with an alchemy elixir, or you can do little pixie things like riding on the train set or interacting with the fairy house. They actually sort of do like a hovery sort of fly when they walk. Now, when you first change into a fairy, these wings are chosen at random, and they can only be changed with the king or queen of the Fae lifetime reward. So they can also shrink down into these little sprite form, or they say that that's the normal form, to do little tasks. So they can do things like fairy repair. So they shrink down and get inside the object and repair it. And then, they can do other interactions with other items. I haven't fully explored that yet because, again, I can't get that fairy thing. They've got their special auras. So we've got things like soothing and creativity and body and mind. They're great creatives. They're good dancers, artists, musicians, and they've got a really special relationship with plants, including the bloom interaction. Then they've got their own little fairy social interactions, so they can do things like I can fly and things like that. But they're also pranksters, so they're a little bit mischievous, but they do build their charisma faster. Now, there were some fairy references in The Sims 4, including some items that were referencing fairies, but we're not going to go into that today because we're going to scooch straight over to the news and talk about what's coming in The Sims 4 Enchanted by Nature pack. Welcome to the Plumbob Press Fairy Edition. Now, I wasn't really sure how to present this today, but I figured we would go into a chronological how it was released, all the updates as it was. So the first thing I want to mention is that there is a Sims Discord garden challenge. So if you're feeling inspired, you can actually go and build a garden or share any garden that you've actually designed in The Sims 4, and you can upload it into the Discord. So it's like a Sims Discord they've got. Have a chance to win one of the copies of Enchanted by Nature. So get on that. Segue, I'll let you know that I'm also doing a giveaway. So details are coming, but I will post it in the link below. Make sure you hit that link because it will go live the moment I post this. You will be able to enter and it will end. The date will be in there when it ends. I haven't even decided when it ends, but I like to do them after the game has been released because everyone's just inundated by these giveaways. So I kind of want to just let it settle for a bit, but hold tight. There is a giveaway coming. It's coming. I will also just mention that the Sims Summer Sale is happening, and obviously it's always kind of a little bit cringe because we're not in the summer. It is bloody winter here. But you know what's really cool is when we can sit at home and get cozy and not feel guilty about wasting sunshine by playing some new games. So if you're looking at topping up your Sims collection today, head on there, grab some deals because there's things like Cats and Dogs on special. We've got the Businesses and Hobbies is on special for the first time ever. And if you want to help me out, you can use my code WooHoo because the Sims will actually send me a tiny little bit of commission and that helps me. So it would just be amazing if you could do that. Send them Alex sent you. Use WooHoo in the promo code at the end and I will love you forever. I'll give you little fairy kisses on your forehead. If you think really hard, you can feel them. Yeah. Okay, Sims Summer Sale. Amazing. Let's also just scooch over to the fact that they have announced this U2's collab. If you don't know what U2s are, they're sort of like a little, I don't know, like a merch. They're kind of like pop vinyls. Let's just leave it at that. But they create plushies and little collectible statues of different sort of merchandise things, like they do like Bob's Burgers and SpongeBob and like animes and all these kind of things. But they're doing a collaboration with U2s. Unfortunately, it's not available outside of the US and Canada. I was pissed off. I literally was there with my little credit card ready to drop $80. Fuck you. Oh, hi there. It's post-production Alex to let you know that the U2's collab is actually live now for international customers. Apparently, they fixed the licensing and we can actually order them now. Hooray. So I've already ordered mine just to make sure that that is correct. And yes, I have just dished out $60 for one cowplant statue, but I'll pop the link in the bio, you know the jam. Also, I totally forgot, there's going to be the free base game update overnight. So if you've already played The Sims, you'll see that in there. I don't know anything about that yet because it will be happening probably about 2 hours from now. So yeah, enjoy. I hope it's some fun things. I have no idea what it is. Anyway, back to the podcast. Anyway, continue. I'm just going to use that money to go get another tattoo. So let me know what tattoo I should get. Maybe I'll get a freezer bunny or a cow plant. Let me know. All right. What else have we got here? All right. So the next thing I want to talk about is on June 18, we had a Sims update. So in the Sims update, we had a few little updatey things, but this is mainly to let everybody know that the update from May is now available on console, on Xbox and PlayStation. Then we had a few bug fixes for the PC gamers, things like resolving issues with some distorted Sims. We had some Sim portraits not displaying properly. That's been fixed. Business and hobbies, apparently business employees were disappearing. That's been fixed. And then seasons, apparently the New Year's resolution menu has now been fixed. I didn't experience any of these bugs, but if you have been, this apparently has been updated. Thank you. Now, I'll also just lead straight into the fact that we have a laundry list now as well. So the laundry list was announced the 26th of June or 25th in America. So here are some things that they're working on. This is what they're investigating, including the rain indoors issue, which isn't going to be a problem soon because we're going to be living on the land, but whatever. So apparently the eyedropper tool doesn't function on certain objects. Cool. Sim's fear of the dark is not cured. That is one that I struggle with. So, okay, let's fix that, please. Children can become distorted when interacting with the violin. I have that issue too, and I've got a really good meme of that. Other things are like the Reaper's Rewards buckled boots are not appearing in certain fashion choices. Other packs, we've got townie names have limited diversity, so I'm interested to see what they do here. Lifeguard swimsuits are missing. On a silver platter drinks tray are missing. Some retail workers don't show up for their businesses. Then we've got things like fear of being alone sometimes tanks relationships too real. And I just love when the Sims patch notes are hilarious. And they used to do it a lot, and they've sort of like died down a little bit. But I always love the funny ones. And that's why I wanted to do this, because I thought they'd be funny, but they're not. Anyway, that's the laundry list. So they're working on that. I hope that they work on some other things because I've been experiencing some serious simulation lag. If you have any questions on how to fix simulation lag, please let me know. I'm always here for it. Okay, what can we talk about now? Let's see here. So the next thing was they had a little like sort of like a roadmap to the roadmap's roadmap. And this was about the fairies. So we had Create a Sim Spotlight, Build by Spotlight, Gameplay Trader, World Spotlight. So the World Spotlight is actually coming out probably this week or next week. Then there's a live stream with a special guest. And I don't know who the special guest is. Honestly, I was trying to find out. I was trying to pry for info and no one would tell me. And then they've got Discord challenges and more. So we're still waiting for the World Spotlight and the live stream. So I think the live stream will probably happen after it has been launched. And I wonder if it is going to be someone celebrity famous. I'm hoping for Aurora. I doubt it will be, but oh my God, could you imagine? I love Aurora. She's so cute. I'm such a fairy. I'm a heavy metal fairy, if you haven't guessed. I love my metal and I love fairies. I will literally sit there and like do craft and coloring in and play with stickers and glitter and like take photos of mushrooms, but I'll be listening to like the most feral death metal. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about the trailers. So I have done a full reaction to the trailer and I was up at like 12:30 a.m. midnight doing this and I'm hyped up on I don't know what. Go and watch it. I'll pop the link in the bio. Go and watch it. Leave me a comment and tell me that you came here from the podcast and I will shower you with love. But here's what I got from the trailer. My reactions, what I love. Okay, I love the natural shelving. I love all the greenery that's in her room and some of the gallery walls. The hairs are really cute. We've got cute mushrooms everywhere. I love all the palette build stuff. So I did make a comment saying, builders, we've got palettes. Because that's one thing that I thought would be really cool to have as a build mode object, palettes, because you can manipulate them. Especially if you use the tool mod, you can do so much with palettes. OMG. I'm really excited for the build by mode, actually. There's so much fun stuff in there, and there's like a really beautiful like little hobbit hole, and now I can understand where people thought this was going to be New Zealand, but it is actually a Celtic, sort of Irish-inspired land. We've got flower pressing, or like they call it nature pressing, so you can do like leaves and flowers and then make art out of it, but we'll go into that in a minute. But I love flower pressing. It's one of my favorite things. I've constantly got one going. Like I forgot about it and then I was like, ooh, and I went back in there and I've got some really cute natives in there. It's really cute. So the kids also have little fairy wings and body paint. I think that's adorable. And the guys have some flower beards. Does everyone remember when men would start putting things in their beards? I think we should bring that back because it's hot. Let's be real. It looks like there's a lot of new plants as well. So I saw lilies and there looks like some succulents and some different coloured foliage. I can never say that word. But there's some reds and then there's some purples as well with like veiny goodness. And my favourite, flower crowns. I have been asking for flower crowns for so long and I know you can download them, but I like to have it in game, okay? This is just the fairy smut girlies. If you are reading like Crown of Thrones and Roses and Thrones, whatever it is, you're going to love this. This is literally leaning straight into that fantasy smut. So the things I don't like, okay, I talked about the gallery walls. I love the artwork, but I wish we had separated gallery walls. There's too many gallery walls. If you want like a one-piece art, you just can't. So I wish there was a way we could separate the art and maybe just, you know how we have with counters and you can choose the diagonal? Why can't we just choose like, here's one portion, here's the middle portion, and here's this like, why can't we do that? Anyway, the thing that really concerned me was the reuse of animations. I was like, is that a reuse of the toddler sleeping on the floor? But now I realize it's actually the werewolves sleeping on the floor. So that was a little bit Some other things I noticed were some Sims swimming in the water. So we're going to be able to swim in the water here, obviously, because we need to be able to bathe in the water. There's a lot of pirate-themed thingies. So I don't know what kind of pirates are in Ireland. So hold that thought. I'm going to do some research for my video. But I saw at least 2 pirate ships in there. We've got Apothecary Todd has returned from The Sims 1. That's very fun, obviously, because we have the apothecary skill. We've got ailments. So the 2 that were sort of mentioned in the original trailer was Simoleon Fever and Creation Impulse. We've got the little fairy house. You can eat the frogs now. That's fun, I guess. And I loved the dude with the little watering can and bird's nest on his head. And it's cute to see like this kind of chaos back in The Sims. Now, if you pre-order and purchase before August 22, Australia, you're going to get the Fairy Garden digital content. So this includes the Lofty Leaf Pond, Luminous Mycena Lantern, and a disguised dwelling fairy home. There's a really cute little stump with some little mycena around it. It's really, really gorgeous. Don't forget, if you pre-order as well or purchase this game, you can use my promo code WooHoo at checkout and I'll give you some fairy kisses. All right, so we've got so much more to go through. I'm sorry, I hope this isn't going to be like the longest episode ever, but stick tight. We've got to go through now the little shorts we did. So there was a Creator Sims short, a Build by short, and then the gameplay. Let's go. In the Creator Sim, I've just made some notes here, okay? Because I went a little bit crazy. Things that I noticed. Are you ready? And again, if you haven't seen these trailers, you can go and check them out. I'll put all the links in the bio, the description below. You'll be able to see all of this because you know I like to do my research and I like to reference. I don't like to leave anybody out. All right, I noticed, and this hasn't been talked about, but it looks like we're getting Crocs, as in the shoes. Yeah. It looks like there's some little decals on them too, which is kind of cute. Let's also talk about the boots with the fur. There's some cute little tucked in jumpers. We've got some satchels and hats with some like feathers. Now, I had to Google this because I was like, it looks like an ammo belt, but it's actually called a bandolier belt and it's a steampunk style belt. So it's kind of like a sash, like a side sort of belt that goes over and you can have like a little bag in it. So that's cute. I like that, but it's not going to be an accessory. It's just going to be a part of the shirt. Infants have little fairy wing onesies, which is so adorable. They've also got like a little tulip hat as well. There is the cutest little acorn outfit for toddlers. Child wings for dress up. We've got line art in the fade for hairs, which is awesome. I love that. But I have to say, I'm going to put all this hate onto these ugly maxi dresses. If you're a maxi dress girly, look, power to you. I bet you're comfy, but I can't think of anything worse to wear, to be honest. I just know. They just don't look good on me either. They look like I'm going to, I don't know. It's just everything I don't like. Anyway, there's like overalls with a cute little bandeau. I can't speak today. Sideburns with a goatee, which is so Hobbit, but I love it. It's the best. There's a jacket, which is very leprechaun. There's some hair with leaves in it, and I love that. I have a photo of me from like a festival when it was like 2010, and I'd been rolling on the floor, and this photo of me is in black and white, and I've got a leaf in my hair, and I love it. It's the best. There's also this slick back hair that kind of gives the whole oily vibes. Love that. Then there's this crop sort of top with shoulder caps, and the flower crown, I believe, is a separate. I don't know for sure. I don't look at all the like individual items because I just don't like to ruin it for myself. But there you go. Now with the fairies, it seems that there's a couple of different size wings. We've got medium size and small. The colors are customizable, so you can paint your wings. There's some moth style ones. There's some butterfly ones. There's like whimsical and dragonfly. Looks like there's new skin tones here as well. And you can add that crown to hairs. So there's beautiful crowns and stuff. There's also antlers and horns, and not just from the top of the head. It looks like they can also sit on the forehead. There's new face paint and makeup. Oh my God. And new eyes as well. The dresses are adorable. There's like tulip dresses, butterfly dresses. There's like a fawn outfit. Fawn are the ones that are like half man, half two legs, donkey or whatever. There's like mask harnesses. There's like goddess vibes, like evil vibes, glowing tattoos. The creator sim is going to go off. I can't wait. This is going to be so much fun. Like, I feel like you can just see the dedication that's been put into this. All right, let's go over to build by mode. So they also dropped a little short for that too. And here is what I spotted. I actually paused it on all of the items. So the first thing that was mentioned was this Sylvan spiral fence and gate. Now, Sylvan, this is referencing the Sylvan Glade. So I wonder if there's going to be more interactions with the Sylvan Glade. That's my sort of take on that. There's a crystalline water shower, so an outdoor water shower, and it's so pretty. The petal dance sink. Now, this intrigued me because in the video you can see a little fairy in its small form, because when the fairies shrink down, they don't go into little like glowing Zelda Navi orb. They actually, you can see them in small form, which is really cute. But you can see them dancing in this sink, and it makes me wonder if we're going to be able to shrink down into small form and use other objects, or is it only going to be enchanted by nature objects? Like, is this the only sink they're going to dance in, or will we be able to dance in all sinks? I don't know. That's one thing I've put on my little list to check out. So we've got the fairy tale vines and blue, pink, green foliage aesthetic. So we've got nice, beautiful colors. There's a nice canopy bed with like leaves. Then we've got some fairy tale shell sofas, a burl coffee table. I had to look up what a burl was because I didn't know what it was, but apparently we call them burrs here in Australia. And it's kind of like when a tree gets all crooked and grows into like a big blob on their branch, and then they cut through that, and it's the pattern that's on the inside. So a burr. There's this divine vine and drapes. So beautiful little sort of like whimsical drapes. Filigree style windows with new roof tiles, and there's purple roof tiles, guys. I'm always fanging for some purple roof tiles. Oh, we've got some fairy tale windows, and there's beautiful moss on the windowsill here. I love that. There's this fairy tale story tree bookcase. And I'm not sure if it includes all of the items that's actually displayed on there, but the Mushroom Ends books, I don't know if that's a separate, but I'd love to see. It looks like there's heaps of little clutter bits on here too, like a little mushroom pixie statue cluttery dudes. I don't know. Sometimes they put that in there and then sometimes they have it separate as well. I don't know. I can't wait to get my hands on that bit. There's a tabletop plant pot, and this is so cool. So these are like live house plants where they will actually, you know how in The Sims 1, where some of the plants would die if you didn't water them? It seems like this is the case now, but they don't have like a watering can. They have a spray bottle, and that's kind of a little bit. But I know that some plants do like a little spritzing, so we'll see how we go. Not sure if they can be harvested, if they give perks, if they die. Hold that thought. We'll talk about it in a second. There's a nature press. I already talked about the nature press. You can make art with it. And there was a candle there, so I don't know if you can actually press onto the candle or if that was just another clutter item. But yeah. Then we've got the Arbor Abode Fairy Home. And obviously this is the fairy home you can shrink down into and hang out. It'll just be like a little rabbit hole so you don't know what's going on in there. Secret fairy business. And then there's Bun Bun the Freezer Bunny, and he's my new favorite. I'm actually going to draw him and make a little sticker, so let me know if you want one. I'll probably put it up on my Etsy shop. So cute. He's like a little freezer bunny. And I will actually just segue and say that I just got an email from The Sims saying that they're doing an enchanted drop soon, and Bun Bun is a plush available this Friday. So I'm going, I hate shopping on The Sims shop, because I'm a little entitled bitch, and I'm like, just give it to me for free. Come on, Sims. Do you know who I am? Come on, guys. You know me. And also, it's so expensive with the conversion and the shipping. It sucks. But hey, I'll do anything for him. Bun Bun, you have my life, babe. All right, we'll talk about gameplay trailer now. And this one was a huge trailer. So if you haven't watched it, go check it out. Again, link in bio. But I'll try and scoot through this as quick as I can. I was going to do a reaction to it, but I wasn't feeling very well that day. I've had a bit of drama this week. I'm not going to get into personal stuff, but I just decided to watch it in my bed because it's nice to just sometimes watch it as a, not as an influencer. So this is what I picked up. Oh, okay. I just realized the time and I have to get ready and go soon. I'm going for a walk. Okay. The gameplay trailer is actually presented by the beautiful Irish-speaking Mother Nature, and she talks us through all the gameplay stuffsies. So, first of all, she's talking through some houseplants stuff, and we've got like the gardening section where watering these indoor plants with a spray bottle. They can dry out. You can actually have normal Sims use fairy dust from fairies to enchant them, and then they will water themselves and weed themselves. But it can attract pixies. There's also a little fairy bathing in the sink there. We can name these plants, and then there's also a little fairy sleeping in a dollhouse, and this is a Enchanted by Nature dollhouse. So again, not sure if it's limited to these items only. Then we go into the fairy stories aspiration. So this is sort of going to walk you through how to become a fairy. So we're going to plant a fairy seedling, then you drink an elixir, and we have another baleful bog experience where you walk into a body of water and become a fairy. Then you can go into Create a Sim, and it looks like you can create your fairy from there. So it's not going to be like automatic wings this time. Paint your wings, horns, glowing tattoos, outfits, hovering in CAS. So we've already gone through that in the last bit. Now this is where I'm going to mention that the new fairies do not have hunger as part of their needs. So they actually need emotional regeneration, I guess. So they can actually consume emotions from others and from bottled elixirs as well. They're emotionally driven creatures nourished by the moods of others. And there is an emotional death. I have not found any more information on this death yet, but apparently they can be starved by lack of emotions. Same. As an empath, yeah, girl, same. There's a new fairy woohoo, and you better believe I'm going to be going into this in full depth very shortly in my review video. There's some fairy dust abilities, so things like blooming plants and, bringing gnomes to life and messing with relationships and aging Sims up. You can be disruptive and mystical. They're some traits. There's also a skill tree. So not like mermaids, not like vampires have it, not like aliens. Aliens, mermaids, we are waiting for the skill trees. Please, Sims update. Whatever happened to game refreshes? Like we had Spa Day game refresh and it was amazing. I loved that. More, please, Sims, come on. We've got 4 tiers here. So we've got manipulation, emotion, nature, and customization. So it looks like we've got a lot of perk points here too. That's going to be fun. And I looked at the plumb bob for the fairy and it looks like a little wooden band with like gold leaf filigree sort of decorations. Very Lord of the Rings. Love that. So we've got some aspirations here. The nature nomad, elixir enthusiast, skills, natural living. The more time you spend on these natural living skills, the easier it gets to manage your needs. And then we've got the apothecary. So craft with everyday plants, ailments and cures. We've got things like a burning passion cure, a greeny meanie, luck magnet, calming. And then this sort of leads into the new career, which is the naturopath healer. And she says it really weird. I was like, huh? So you have clients. It's like an active career, similar to if you were to have like a style influencer or something. Doesn't always need an ailment. Sometimes you do need to, chat with your client in order to understand their needs. You can express sympathy or revitalize their needs, or you may need a wellness program for them. And again, me being a big psychology nerd, I love this because it's bringing mindfulness in. There are 3 magic plants as well. We've got the moody shrub to extract emotions, aura blossom, which is going to deal with luck and imbalance, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then we've also got the lightning root, which we don't know what that does yet. It just electrified him, so who knows? There is luck. Now, there hasn't been a lot of information given about luck yet. I'm wondering if it's going to be like a Stardew Valley kind of vibe, whether the luck is going to be like a daily thing and it'll kind of be like you have good luck today or you have bad luck today. And whether, if you are balanced, you'll get more good luck. I don't know, like karma, who knows? Hold that thought. There are 3 areas in Innis Green. I've kind of already touched on this, maybe? I don't know. Spruce Derry Cove. We've got the coast of Ardmore and Everdew, the forest. So there's also the Spruce Almighty Plant Sim, ? He's a green boy and he's a stunner. So yeah, that's kind of what I pulled from the gameplay trailer. I'm pretty keen for all of this. It seems like it's well thought out, but it also is lacking. Like I feel like we're touching on a lot of other things. So that's all I got from the gameplay trailer. And that's actually the end of the news that I've got for now. I did actually do a quick check to see if there was anything else that has been announced. There was something that was a leak, but I'm not talking about that today until it's actually finalized. Something about Project Renee and something about another expansion pack, but I'm not talking about that today. If you want to go check that out, go to Sims Community because they are always posting all of that stuff. And thank you again for everybody. I'll put all the links below from where I did my research and the best. Here's what the community is saying about it. Drama Llama. We love some drama, but everybody knows that this community can be toxic. And I personally don't like the drama, but I do like to have a bit of an insight as to what people are saying so that I can be, I guess, aware of, I don't want to be an EA shill. I don't want to be, like, oh my God, EA is the best, because I also have my gripes, there are some things that really drive me insane. And you probably know them because I whinge about it all the time. If you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, you will know. So this is what people are saying about this new pack before it has even come out. So if people are saying the occults, yes, I will buy it because it's got a new occult, but is it worth a whole expansion pack? Could this have been a game pack? Probably. Fairies are only the interesting part of this pack. Cast seems underwhelming and childish. Gameplay looks like features we've seen in previous packs other than fairies. Are we getting new animations? And wanting more information on gameplay. So obviously that was before all of the gameplay stuff came out. And then I kind of did a little bit of digging and I thought, where is the most toxic place to find comments? And I ended up stumbling over the YouTube channel because YouTube is nasty. Even though we do go to Twitter, Twitter just I need to take medication to go onto Twitter. But I went to the YouTube comments on the actual trailers to see what the general population was speaking about Enchanted by Nature, or Enchanted by Greed, as they have coined it. So they're saying the wings don't flap. It could have been an eco-living. Homelessness gameplay during a recession is crazy. Hot take. Illnesses, get to work. Potions, outdoor living retreat. Living off the land, cottage living. Sleeping on the ground, werewolves. The Sims team got lazy. The last EP was Get to Work 2.0, and now we're looking at Cottage Living 2.0. Made me want to play Sims again, but also reminded me that this game is so broken that I can hardly get the game to open, much less play it. They really forgot the enchanted part of the Enchanted by Nature and quickly stuffed 10 seconds of fairies in at the end, lamau. Leave it to EA to put things like sleeping on the ground and bathing in public waters behind a paywall. Simmers, it's still raining indoors. Why aren't EA fixing this persistent bug? EA, our new paid expansion will allow you to build more outdoor houses where raining inside your build will be a feature, not a bug. Give us more money. I personally love that one. That cracked me up. EA has the same disease, money sign rashes. They're talking about the simoleon sneezes. It cracked me up. Paying $50 for a homeless simulator is crazy. I'll just leave that one at the end there because, yeah. Now, obviously, I'm not going to come in with the drama llama and not give you some positives that I found as well, because it's nice to go in and finish on some positives because not everything is nasty. So this is what I found in a really nice sort of way. So fairies are giving Barbie Mariposa energy, drama, sparkle, and wings that actually work. Hopefully plant sims become permanent. Finally, I can be Shrek. So the community update page said the world inner screen is based on Ireland and Celtic artistry. Being an Irish simmer for the longest time, I'm happy for that alone. We can finally live our Lord of the Rings hobbits' fantasies. I'm happy that there's more than just fairies to this coming from someone who does not play occult. And I really liked that comment because that is me. I am not an occult girly. So you'll see me playing a lot of occults lately because that's something that I've never really played before. So that comment really resonated with me because I'm like, you know what? Let's give them a chance. And the last comment that I found that was really positive was, this looks so cool. All the little details. It feels like someone poured their heart into this pack. And that's the kind of stuff I like to see, you know, like in midst of all the shit, be that light. Be that light in someone's life. I also want to just say as well that, you know, I have played every single Sims game for a very long time, and I love to see a new expansion pack that's different. I'm so excited for Rags to Riches. This is Rags to Riches. If you haven't played this challenge, I recommend doing it. It is so much fun. Basically, if you can do it without Enchanted by Nature, like if you're looking for something to do before the actual game comes out, start a Rags to Riches. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to create a young adult sim. You're not going to have a job. In fact, you're going to land on an empty lot and then you're going to change your money. There's a money cheat. You just go Control-Shift-C, money, 0, I think it is. And then you're going to start with nothing. And what you're going to do is live off the land. And then you're not allowed to build walls until you get to a certain amount. And then you're not allowed to do this until a certain amount. And basically your sim is just going to level up these skills and you're going to learn so much about the game and you're just going to really find ways to make money. And it is just so much fun. Like, I love Rags to Riches. I think I've done it like 2 or 3 times. It is just the best. So this new pack is going to really change the way that Rags to Riches is played. And I'm actually thinking about doing my own little challenge LP called Feral to Fairy. So let me know if you'd watch that. And out of everything I've spoken about today, what's your favorite thing? What are you most keen for? Personally, I'm really excited for this nature press, like the fact that we have another creative, but like, oh, it's just so sweet. This scrapbooker journal girl, I'm always sticking leaves in my book. Like if I find a feather, it's going in my book. Like I just love it. It's just so whimsical. And it's just a nice thing that we need right now. Yeah, okay, homelessness simulator, whatever. Like I know we're in a recession and I know the world is an absolute mess right now. But you know what? If we can like pretend for a second that we're a fairy living in the woods sleeping on the ground, touching grass and like absorbing the moss. That's where I want to be. I want to be where the fairies are. I'll leave you with that. Thank you guys so much for listening to my podcast. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow, do all those fun things that we love you to do. And my next episode is going to be another fairies episode. I know, I'm sorry, you're probably sick of fairies right now. But we're going to be going over that new pack in some serious detail, girlies and boys, everybody's. Thank you guys so much. This is Alex. You've been listening to Live Mode. I hope you have a fucking good day. I'm so excited. I'm going for a walk now. All right, bye. Bye.